I realized that while I've been on this journey of healing and self-discovery and learning more about myself and learning just how to love myself unconditionally and love parts of myself that I was never taught to love, right? I realized that while I was on that journey, that I was still connected to people, places, and things that did not serve certain things that I was doing and saying anymore, right? I was still I was still connected to the same people who reflect, no, not the same people, well, some of the same people, but I was still connected to people who reflected the same ideas, programmings, and mindset that I was on before I started my healing journey, before I started my journey, right? Before, way before. And now that I've learned certain things, now that I've learned new concept, new ideas, reprogramming my mind, right? Just telling myself that I'm beautiful, telling myself that I'm worthy, telling myself that I am loved and I am love, right? Just me giving myself those sort of rhetorics. And I realize that it was for nothing. It was for nothing. Like all of this, it's for nothing because you're still you're still entangled with that girl over there who who doesn't love herself. You're still tangled up. You're still meeting men who are not gonna value you, right? So what's happening? Are you really changed? Did you even change? Right? And I realized that what happened was because I wasn't sharing my truth. I wasn't sharing my truth. I wasn't letting people know that, hey, I no longer think this way. I no longer do this thing. I no longer, I know, I'm no, no, I'm not in that space anymore. So here's to me sharing this, hoping that whoever needs to see this and know that I want to break these cords. I want to break these connections because they're no longer serving me, because I'm having to suppress I'm having to suppress things about myself, right? I'm having to keep quiet about how I truly fucking feel, and I no longer want to do it. I no longer want to do it. I don't wear makeup anymore. There was a time that I was struggling with thinking myself beautiful, with thinking of myself as beautiful. I don't want to cry on this shit, so take a deep breath. But I was struggling with accepting myself because I didn't see myself as beautiful without makeup. And all my little, let's zoom in on there, let's see. All the blemishes that I have, I thought that this is ugly. You gotta hide that. Okay? I remember I went on trips and it cost more to have a room to myself, but I didn't care about that. I wanted a room to myself because I didn't want people to see me without makeup. Right? Because you know at night you gotta wipe the shit off. You gotta wipe it off and go to sleep. You gotta take off the wig. Right? And when I did that, I didn't feel beautiful. So I couldn't let someone else see that. So I needed to have my own room. And there was another time where back then when I was younger, when I was more into the makeup now than I am now, right? I went to we went to a hotel with some friends at the time. And I remember I woke up really early, earlier than everyone else because I needed to put on my makeup. I needed to put on my makeup because I didn't want to see, I didn't want anyone to see me without the shit. Because again, I thought that I was ugly without it. So I couldn't allow someone else to see that ugliness. So I needed it. And then there was another time that I had a roommate, and she was just like, "Oh my God, your makeup is always so flawless. I want to see how you do it." And I was like, "The fuck you? What do you mean you want to see how I do it? I do it regularly." And the reason I was offended and triggered was because I knew that if she saw me without the makeup, then she would be like, "Fuck, this bitch is ugly." Like she's ugly without the makeup, right? Because that's what I thought about myself. So I thought whatever I thought about myself, that other people are gonna automatically think that, right? And then there was another time where I was going to my car for something. I was on the phone and I was going to my car to get something, and I was coming back into my home, and my neighbor at the time said hi to me, said good morning. She was like having a conversation with me. But because I didn't want to look up at her, right? Because I wasn't wearing my makeup, because I had just ran out of the house just to grab something from my car. I didn't know I wasn't going to see anybody. I was doing that shit fast. I didn't know I was going to see nobody. And she's saying hi to me, and I'm like face down, like, fuck. The fuck she saying hi to me now for? I don't have my makeup on yet. And I remember I was trying to look up, like, you know, because I didn't want to be rude and not look at her to say hi. And I was trying to do that while I'm on the, like, while I have the phone. And I fumbled, and the phone fell out of my hand and fell and broke up. Brand new phone I did buy, broke up, mash up, because I didn't want her to see me without makeup, right? And with my hair, I didn't love my hair. My hair was always perm. I didn't know nothing about kinky hair, because from I was younger, I was told that my hair was too tough, and my ear was like bush, like it was really tough, right? And I decided to start. Sorry, I forgot where I left off. But yeah, so I think it was I was at the, oh yes, my phone mash up, because I never want a girl to see me without makeup. And I decided that, you know, that's not okay. Like, just because you didn't want to look at somebody and you didn't want them to see you without makeup, the phone end up mash up. Like, that's not okay. That was a very expensive phone. I had just bought it. So I decided that I'm not gonna do that anymore. And I stopped wearing makeup. And at the time, my skin, I had like dark spots all over this front area, and most of my dark spots are here, and right here is better, but it's mostly now here on this side, right? And I decided that I want to love myself. I don't care anymore. I can't care anymore. Like, my skin is just, it's just my skin. It's just perfectly imperfect, and it's okay. It's okay. Who said you had to have flawless skin? Those are the things that I had to retell myself. Like, whose idea of beauty are you following? If you can't look at yourself, right? If you can't look at yourself without makeup, and if you can't look at yourself without fake hair and realize that you are beautiful, then whose idea of beauty are you even following? Right? So it's a reprogramming that I had to do with myself. Telling myself that it's okay that you have these dark spots. It's okay. Just stop picking your fucking face. Because that's what happens. Like, I don't really get pimples that much, but when I do get like a little pimple here and there, close to my period, I would pick it. I'll try to squeeze it, like, oh, get off my face. And when I do that, that's what leaves the dark spots. Right? That's what leaves the dark spots. And I'm in the sun right now. I'm loving the filter that the sun provides. Like, ooh, so beautiful. Yeah. And I wasn't like this. Like, I was never like this, right? I hid myself. I hide the the love that I was starting to have for myself. And the reason I hide it was because I thought it was too much. Because I've always been told that I was too much. So now I'm learning to love myself again. I kept hearing the voices like you're being too much. So don't you dare go around fucking people just laughing your face off. People don't like that shit. Because there are people that are suffering. There are people that are going through a lot of things. And here you come around showing off your fucking teeth. Those are the things that myself would tell me. That's the inner talk. And I had to reprogram that. I had to reprogram that and tell myself that what people are going through has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. I can be myself. And if I'm being myself and I'm not accepted, that's not my people's. That's not my people's. If here I am being my loving self and I'm learning to love back myself again and I'm dealing with myself and I'm focusing on myself and I get around people and I have to hide my smile, I have to hide my joy. They're not my fucking people. And I'm not being true to myself because I'm suppressing myself. I'm suppressing myself. And I don't want to do that anymore. It's hard. It's too much. It's too much. I just want to be free. I just want to live and be motherfucking free. All these thoughts that are just like it's not serving me anymore. So I want to lift myself out of that. And if me doing that, if me taking myself out of certain places, out of certain relationships, out of environments that doesn't serve me, if me doing that is selfish, then I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be selfish because you know what? For too fucking long, I've cared about what people thought of me. I've cared about what people think about the way that I look, about the way that I sound, about the way that I walk, about the way that I talk. I've cared for fucking too long and I decided I don't want to do it anymore. So here's to me spilling. I just want to be free. I just want to flow. I just want to be me. And if I get around people who are not supporting of me being me, or if I get around people who gets triggered by me being me, then they're not my fucking people. Right? They're not my people. So I started loving my hair. I don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, my hair was always too much to handle, right? I remember my mom putting like fake hair in my hair when she was getting married. She put fake hair in my hair because my hair wasn't beautiful enough. Because my hair is, I think I have like 4C hair. Like I have really curly coils, right? And I remember when I stopped perming my hair and I saw like this like a coil of hair, I was like, oh my god, that coil is so cute. I want to see more of that. I'm gonna put look of water and look of gel on it. Oh, it was popping. People will be like, "Oh, you have Indian in here?" No, I don't think so. It was just me learning to love my hair and embracing my hair, right? And there are people that didn't like that. And I don't understand, how is it that when someone starts loving themselves and when someone starts just caring about themselves on an internal level, how is that, how does that offend you? If anything, it should make you, if anything, it should make you want to come back to you also, right? I was when I started learning to love myself and dealing with myself, I noticed the rise of intuitive nudges that I had, the psychic connections that started um, just flowing up, like the psychic, just like as women, our womb is is um is so powerful. Our womb is so powerful, and I'm learning that, right? And I would get these intuitive nudges that I shouldn't be certain places and I shouldn't interact with certain people, but I didn't listen. I didn't listen, right? I would notice the little subtleties of people, like not not truly liking me as much as they say that they like me, and I ignored them. I ignored them because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved, because we all have that innate um we all have that innate, what's the word I'm looking for? We all have that, for lack of a better word, thing, that innate thing that we just want to be loved and accepted. It's just a part of the human nature. We want to be loved and accepted. So because I wanted to be loved and accepted, I ignored those parts of me that were telling me that, hey, that person doesn't really like you, or you should move from this place because this is not serving you anymore. And I ignored them. I ignored them, right? So as I start to love myself more, I realize my power as a feminine. I realize my power as a woman, right? And I started calling myself divine, the rise of the divine feminine, because that's what's happening, right? Women, well, some are starting to love themselves. We're starting to connect with our wombs. We're starting to love and appreciate the parts of ourselves that we were told were not beautiful. We're no longer codependent in relationships. We're no longer seeing 20, 30 year relationships as something to be proud of. When you look back and you see the quality of the relationship versus the quantity, we're saying no to that. If the 30, 20, 10 years of friendship no longer serve us, we're not afraid to cut those cords anymore. And it's not about stepping on anybody's feelings, and it's not about hurting people intentionally. No, it's coming back to yourself. It's coming back to you. It's coming back to learning to love you, right? It's that self-love. That's the self-love that we're talking about. Healing broken relationships, and the relationship that we have with ourselves, we're healing it, right? So the matriarch is returning, right? Because the world is predominantly patriarchy, and the world has taught women to hate themselves and to hate each other. See, we are all struggling with internal misogyny. We're all struggling with that. And I realize when I'm learning to love myself more, that bits and pieces of those internal hatred that I had for myself is breaking away, is chipping away. right? And I no longer want to be connected to women who are hating on each other. I no longer want to be connected to women who are competing against each other. I don't want to be connected to women who silently race against each other, race against me, right? I no longer want to be connected to women who are sitting in relationships, right? Who are, I don't want to be connected to women who are sitting in relationships that no longer serve them and play victim. I no longer want to be connected to women who have devoted their entire existence to men. I don't want to be connected to them. I want to be connected to women who are loving themselves, right? Who are appreciating loving themselves. I don't want to be connected to women who are unforgiving of other women. Because a man will do so much to a woman, right? A man will do so much to a fucking woman, but she be so quick to forgive him. But let another woman do something. Let another woman do something to her. She'll be ready to cut that woman off so quickly. So quickly. She'll be so unforgiving to that woman. And why? Because we are all struggling. Well, in my case, we're struggling with internal misogyny, right? We all have that mother womb that we need to deal with. And we can only deal with it with ourselves first. We can only deal with it through ourselves. Nobody else. Right? There are women that I'm connected to that have men around them that doesn't respect them, that doesn't love them the way that they should be loved, that are not doing anything for them, but somehow they're still there. I don't want to be connected to that, because every time I see you, I wanna remind you of how beautiful you are. Every time I see you, I want to remind you that you are a motherfucking goddess, that you are divine. And it eats me up, because I want to say these things to you, but you're gonna be looking at it. It's gonna take time, but because initially you're gonna look at it as me maybe judging you. You're gonna be so triggered, because you're gonna think, who the fuck am I to be telling you anything, right? That's what you're gonna be thinking. So I suppressed it and I don't say nothing. But here I am telling you now. You are woman, beautiful and divinely created. You are the only being that can connect to the spirit world. You house you house an entire galaxy within your womb. You can bring forth spirits and they manifest as humans. That's you. That's your fucking power. You were created out of love. I don't care how you came into this world. You were still created out of love. Right? Come back to yourself. come back to you. Learning to love you is not selfish. And learning to love you is not getting your hair done or getting your face beat or getting your nails done or getting a pedicure. Learning to love you is you realizing that these fucking breasts are hanging and you don't give a shit. Because these breasts, they were sucked on. You nurtured children, right? And your stretch marks, they're beautiful. They show what you've been through. They show that you were housed in spirits that manifested as human beings. You are truly beautiful. You are truly beautiful. There's a rise of the divine feminine, right? And if you're not on the train, you're going to get left behind. Deal with your internal misogyny. Find back your power. You are a woman. Find back your power. Get your babies. Get your children. Take care of them. You have a man that's around you that's not helping you? Why? Why? You're literally getting up every day, going to work, right? You're going to work. And this nigga just sits at home with you? Sits at home and is not doing anything? Why? Don't you know how beautiful you are? You didn't know? Okay, here I am telling you, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. You deserve better. You deserve better. He's talking down to you. He's beating on you. Why are you staying? Why you still stay? You deserve better. You deserve better. Right? You deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve better. Stop staying with men for children. Don't you know what you're doing to the kids when you do that? You're in a relationship with a man who does not serve you and who does not do anything for you, who belittles you and talks down to you and just make you feel like you're nothing. But you're staying for what? You're staying for the kids? I was there. I was doing that. I was thinking, no, I never grew up with my mother and my father together. So I want my children to have their father around. I want my children to have their father around. That's what I was thinking. I don't want a broken home. A perfect home is mom, dad, and children. Right? That's a perfect home. So I can't break that. I can't break that. But no. A perfect home is a home where you're loving yourself and loving on your children. And it doesn't matter if a male is there or a male is not there. A perfect home is a home where your children are not hearing you cry or picking up on the energy of your sadness because you're not truly happy with dad. That's a perfect home. A perfect home is you laughing joyously from the pits of your belly right? Laughing and just feeling that joy within. That's a perfect home. Just you truly being happy. That's a perfect home. A perfect home is your children seeing you happy, really happy with yourself, and that your happiness is not contingent upon someone else being